All right, FBA Unfiltered crew, it's Taylor here. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more detailed update on this new product I invented and hopefully will be launching on Amazon soon. If you didn't catch the last video, this product is going to be for cats. The first brand and the first product I launched on Amazon was a product for cats. So let me give you the little backstory about how this came together and what I've designed. So I'll be showing you guys how I came across this product opportunity, how my situation at that time happened to lend itself to prototyping and designing this new product, how I got the patent pending, and what my plan is for getting this thing launched. All right, so here is one of my Amazon listings. This was one of the first products, actually I think the first product that I launched on Amazon. This is a cat collar that has a little silicone holder in order to hold the tile sticker. It's like the Apple AirTag, but for Android devices. It's compatible with Android anyways. So it's just another way to kind of be able to track something. And I designed a little silicone holder, this piece here, that actually holds that particular tracking device. Now, what happened with this was kind of funny. I actually launched this back in 2023 and it was selling really well. And I think through 2024, it was selling great. And towards the end, maybe it was like the end of the third quarter in 2024, I thought, okay, holidays are coming up. Let me get ahead of my inventory. Let me place a reorder for this so I'm in stock for the holidays, etc., etc. And so I placed a pretty big order. I actually placed not only an order for 2,000 units of the original three colors, which were the black, the pink, and the blue, but I also added these three other colors. So I think I ordered like 24,000 units or something like that. No, maybe it was 12,000 units. I think I ordered 12,000 units. And, they're all getting shipped over here. I'm excited. It's like September of last year. Everything's looking good. I'm going to be flush with inventory coming into the holidays. No worries there. And then I happened to go on the internet and search for the tile sticker. And it just so happens that that company, I guess, was bought by Life 360 or some change happened with the company. And they actually redesigned the tracking device that the silicone holder was designed to hold. And so it wasn't going to fit the product that I had just ordered thousands and thousands of units of. So that was a huge bummer. I was kind of stressed. I had all these units basically about to hit the shelves in the Amazon warehouse. And now they were going to be essentially useless because the original 2022 tile sticker device was going to be phased out and they were going to be phasing in this 2024 updated design. So that sucked. So I had to go back to my manufacturer, retool the mold, redesign the mold to fit the new product from Tile or Life 360, whatever they're called, and basically do that whole order over again. And then I had to try to get rid of as many units of the old version as possible, as quickly as possible. So that was a big bummer. Fortunately, things came out decent on the other end. As you can see, this listing is live. I've got all the color variations up, so that's cool. Things are going decently well on that front. But as you can imagine, I had quite a few of these old, outdated units just laying around. Like either some were sent back to me from Amazon that I couldn't liquidate in time or sell off in time. And then I just had some from the very first order still lying around because at the time I was actually packaging these up and fulfilling some orders myself on Etsy. So I had some units of the old design that was basically worthless at this point. There was nothing for me to do with it except throw it in the trash. And that's when I came across an interesting niche. If you guys saw the last video, you'll recognize this, but I thought I'd pull it up one time again here to show you the kind of product research that went into the idea for converting essentially these old units that I had into a new product. All right, and that product niche is calming collars for cats. You can see that pulled up here. My Helium 10 is all still loading up. That's what's going on there. But you can see this is a fairly saturated niche. Lots of these products are identical. You can see people are just trying to essentially sell more and more units in a pack for less and less money. So that's definitely not a competition I want to be involved with. But something struck me when I was looking at this that led me to believe that I could essentially solve this problem for cat owners in a better way. All right, so really quick, I pulled up my helium-10 Chrome extension. This is the X-ray tool here. You can see calming collar for cats is the keyword. When it's searched this way, there's actually almost 80,000 or 81,000 people a month searching this keyword on Amazon, which is some pretty heavy traffic. I have my normal filter on here, which is to hide the sponsored products from these results. And then really quickly, I'll just sort this by the BSR so that I have the top selling products on top. Now, if we look here, I don't think this is what we want. This is a supplement, so we're going to delete that, and this is some drops, and then it looks like we get into some collars down here. So let me delete those two from these results so they don't skew all of our metrics. But here you can see if we come over, these top few sellers are selling, you know, several thousand units a month down to you know, almost 1,000, and then the mid hundreds with a couple up and comers showing here as well. But when we come across, what really caught my eye was the review ratings here. We have 3.8, 3.8, 3.8 here in the top 5. We have 3 listings that have less than 4 stars, which is pretty interesting. Again, you can see a 3.9, a 4.3 down here. And those listings that do have a high rating typically have very low ratings. This one's kind of the exception here with a 4.5 at 800. But you can see 4.8 only has 59 reviews, 4.6 only has 28 reviews, and so on down the line. So I thought that was really interesting that so many people are reviewing this, reviewing it relatively poorly, and yet, you know, thousands of people are going ahead and deciding to pull the trigger and make this purchase every month. And what I noticed in the reviews for these products did not surprise me because, as you can see, I already launched a cat collar type product. So I was pretty familiar with what customers were looking for in a cat collar and what problems they were having with cat collars. And if we just look at some of these images here, they're a little bit graphic, but they really show the issue, which is, we're going to come back to this product or this photo in a second, but a lot of these are causing, you know, really gnarly sores essentially on the cat. Like the collar is digging in and really causing a problem for some of these cats here. Now, if we look at this, you can see that some people are actually kind of chopping up these calming collars and like gluing them, or I've even seen people zip tying them to the collar that they already own, that they know is comfortable and safe for their cat. You can see this collar features a breakaway clasp, which is kind of a standard feature in the industry for cat collars. It allows the collar to break away with minimal force so that the cat doesn't get choked or something like that. So I thought that was very interesting, both those things combined, that essentially you can see this person likes the calming effect, likes the collar, but you can see they've gone ahead and basically made their own product here. And then, you know, we can't be having the collar that's supposed to calm the cat and help the cat cause injury or harm to the cat. That kind of defeats the whole purpose. So once I saw this, I thought, all right, I think there's a better way to deliver this calming solution to these customers. And that's essentially to take the pheromone that they're using as the active ingredient, the calming agent in the calming collar, and applying it to some sort of wick. Like if you know what an aromatherapy diffuser is or something like that, that's also a very popular item sold on Amazon. So like for instance here, if you search cat calming diffuser, you can see they've got these plug-in units that diffuse that pheromone kind of just into the ambient airspace. And so I thought, well, if there was a way to get like whatever this wick material that they're using in these diffusers and essentially just attach that to the cat collar, then I could have the best of both worlds and offer what I think is a superior solution to those cat owners who want a calming collar with all the benefits and safety features of a standard collar without any of the problems that were being caused by the calming collars, such as, you know, irritating the neck or causing injury or not having a breakaway safety clasp. So that brings me to kind of the invention part of this and getting the patent. So essentially, I had some drawings already made for the previous silicone holder, and then I basically just went on here and edited it myself to include some of the vent holes. There's going to be a vent hole on top, and essentially, you know, it already had this internal cavity that was going to hold the tile sticker tracking device, and now it's going to be repurposed to hold a wick or some sort of material that can be imbued with the calming pheromone, and that pheromone can kind of passively diffuse into the ambient air surrounding the cat out of these little holes. So I took this very simple kind of product mock-up and technical drawing and sent it over to a patent attorney. So I found this attorney on Fiverr. It's Josh Stein. Again, no affiliation or anything like that. He doesn't know I'm making this video, but I thought I'd just show you guys exactly how this went down. Essentially, I sent him those initial drawings, and he went ahead and drafted up the patent. Now, what I think is really interesting about this, and what kind of got me excited, was if we look at this, this is actually going to be a utility patent or a use patent. So if you're familiar at all with intellectual property, there are kind of various ways that you can protect your intellectual property. Obviously, you can have a trademark or a copyright, and then you can have a patent. And patents are typically broken down into at least a couple different forms, at least those that I'm aware of. You can have a design patent, or something that just kind of protects your particular aesthetic design for a particular product, or you can have a use patent or a utility patent, and that actually protects the functional elements of your prototype or of your design or your product, right? So the utility patent is much more comprehensive. It means that no matter what type of design the end product looks like, if it functions in this particular way, then it is covered by my patent. So that was kind of interesting to me, that essentially, you know, as it says here, the absorbent pack can accommodate various liquids, including pesticides. So like if this was for flea or tick medication that stops fleas and ticks on your pets, that would be covered. Pheromones obviously covered, or perfumes or aromatherapy would be covered. So basically any, as far as this stands now and what's been submitted to the USPTO for review and approval, is essentially any type of removable diffuser attachment for pet collars that holds any pesticide, pheromone, or perfume, which is kind of wild to me. That seems very broad, but according to this freelancer's research, this patent didn't exist already, and so it was fair game. So we'll see if that goes through. It's currently patent pending. As you probably are aware, it can take like 6 to 9 months for a patent to go through the approval process. So I'll keep you posted on that, but once that's pending, I feel comfortable sharing this with the public, and so that's what I'm doing now. So essentially, we've got that in motion, and now the next step that I need to go through is basically a product testing phase. So I need to interact with customers to learn exactly what would make this the best product for them, right? Because I want to give people what they want. I'm not trying to come out here with what I think is necessarily the end all be all. I want to be in close communication with the actual end customer to figure out exactly what they would value the most. And so towards that end, I need people to test, you know, essentially what type of wick material is going to be in here. Is it going to be like a wool and cotton, like fabric wick that the pheromone is applied to? This drawing isn't coming up. Is it going to be the same plastic that's used in the calming collars already, and I just have it remolded to fit into this holder? Is it going to be some other type of material that holds the pheromone? And then also, what do I want to do with the actual holder itself? How many holes should be on the holder? Where should the holes be located? And really, I could even change the shape of the holder, because I'm going to have to develop a new silicone mold anyways. And so if I'm going to go ahead and buy an entire new mold, I might as well mold it to the shape and size that customers want. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So in order to get that going, I've actually started posting 2 TikTok videos a day for the past, I think it's going on 2 weeks now, trying to just basically explain what's going on, show my work in progress, and essentially find people who might be interested in getting a free sample and testing it out. So unfortunately, I only have a few people that I've reached out to. I'm basically reaching out to anyone who likes any of my videos and asking them if they want a free sample. I had one person here get back to me saying that they'd be interested. So that's cool. Hopefully I can send one off to them. And then, you know, I'm just going to keep posting and keep following up on that. Obviously, if anyone comments on any of these saying they want one to test, that would be that would be something that I would pursue as well. And then finally, what I'm going to try to do for this that I haven't done in the past is actually set up a Kickstarter campaign. So you might be familiar with Kickstarter and perhaps you know more about it than me, but essentially this way I can gather some funds and get some feedback in order to get this product launch going. Because I have to purchase a mold for the silicone holder, that can be quite a large upfront cost. And then there's a potential that I also have to purchase a mold or at least retool some machines in order to make the actual diffusing wick. So that could be a large upfront cost as well. So my plan here is to do something like this, offer people the opportunity to be product testers, like beta testers or prototype testers, for the initial design, and I'll just be sending those out myself because I have units on hand that I can make by hand and ship out and fulfill on my own. And then it's kind of like a way to accept pre-orders, essentially, to fund the initial product run and all the upfront manufacturing costs I'm going to have for tooling machines and making molds. And to finish off, I'll just show you guys a little bit of kind of what I have in mind here so far. So you can see that this is essentially the offer as it stands. You get the calming wick, you get the flexible holder, and you get a matching breakaway collar. There are some cool features I think that could potentially be incorporated. It could be reusable, especially depending on the wick material. If it's a cotton or fabric wick, then the customer could add whatever calming pheromone they wanted to replenish the scent if it runs out. And then it's also, removable and can just be attached to whatever collar the customer likes best. So if they already have a collar that their cat likes and is comfortable for their cat, they can just take the holder and add it to that. There's a couple other interesting, perspective things from kind of like the product side. In terms of reorder potential. So depending on how I do the wick, potentially I could just sell the wicks in like a multi-pack for people who want to continue repurchasing the wicks as they run out of pheromone. That could encourage repeat customers. So there's an option along those lines as well. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Right now, I just need to focus on developing a product that's really going to solve this problem for people in a way that's better than anything else that's currently on offer in the marketplace. Cool. So I think that's the update that I have for you guys. I'll keep you posted. I hope to get the Kickstarter campaign up and launched this week. And so that'll probably be the next update on this video series. So hopefully that's all interesting to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.